Hello once again folks, thanks for joining me for part one of two videos on how I put together this industrial chic inspired TV stand. It's made from welded steel, some plywood and some aluminium, but all shall be revealed. Let's jump in! So I was lucky enough to be able to use a metal workshop in my old university. I'm still good friends with the technician up there, so he's very good to me and lets me come up and do bits and pieces every once in a while. So here I am using a metal bandsaw to cut up my pieces for my steel sides. The equipment in this workshop is actually really nice. I used it during university a lot, so I knew pretty much what I was doing from when I got in the shop. It's made from about 10 pieces in all. Here I am just assembling them, just to see if I've actually got my measurements right. And of course making sure they're very square, because if these are wonky, the whole TV stand's going to be completely wonky. It's not very good. So here's my favourite part. I've got a very good view of that right hand glove there, but here comes my excellent welding skills. I'm just tacking it together to make sure that they look right. If they look right, they usually are right. That's a rule I tend to go by. And I'm just sticking them side by side and matching them up to each other. I could watch myself do this all day. It's quite entertaining. So this is when I actually work out that I've made a little mistake on that bottom rail, and it's not quite square and it's not quite matching up to the other side. So I pull out that angle grinder and just make the correction then and there while it's still only held together by tacks, although my tacks seem quite strong at this point because I'm having trouble getting them apart. Literally only needed moving maybe a millimetre. Good bit of final welding to make sure they're all nice and secure, and then I grind down all the welds. Make sure I weld down the edge of there. Some people are going to have a go at me for how crappy my welding is, but never mind. It's not pretty, but it's functional, so leave me alone. Anyway, time for some grinding. Now the one thing I was lacking here was a finer grinding wheel. I usually like to use a flat face to get them all nice and flush, but never mind. There we go. Ta-da! So this was a funny bit. I tried to get my girlfriend to help me out. She said she wanted to help, so I asked her if she could help me drill the holes, and she ended up telling me to go stuff myself and do it myself because I was being too picky, apparently, if that's a thing. So here I am just punching some holes. Always punch your holes. Pretty self-explanatory. Now this is my old pillar drill that I got when I was 16. I asked for it for my 16th birthday. I was a bizarre child. Most kids usually ask for a new Xbox or something, but I asked for a pillar drill. Anyway, I soon find out that my technique there was a bit shit for drilling those holes because they started going through the other side a little bit wonky. So there I got the drill clamp and used that to keep my drill bit going nice and straight and out the other side where it should do. Ah, it's another nice look at my pillar drill. I do love that thing. I'm glad I asked for that when I was 16. This is in my dad's workshop. I don't actually have my own workshop yet, but he let me use it, and that's where the current home of that pillar drill is. So here's a funky design idea I had. I was going to use this aluminium bar as pegs to help add strength to the whole design, but I'm not convinced I really like the idea after I finished it. But anyway, we shall see towards the end of the video series. There's also screw holes, which is why I'm making little bevels in some of the holes there. The easiest way to explain this is just to show you later on in the video, so I won't go into depth about it. Nice and flush. This was a fun bit. I used my dad's brake cleaning fluid to degrease the steel ready for painting. This also nicely degreased my hands, which wasn't a pleasant experience, but never mind. If I were you, I'd use gloves if you're going to do this. But anyway, it's amazing stuff, this stuff. You can see by all the rags, it literally gets all of the crap off. So here I am just going to use a clear coat to give these a nice finish. My girlfriend kindly offered to help me film this, and I unfortunately covered her in paint in the process. You can hear her having a go at me. So that's the paint I used. Crystal clear. It's a matte finish. So this brings to a close the first part of this build. Join me this time next week for part 2. If you're watching from the future, then I'll leave you a handy little link on the right hand side. Be sure to like, leave comments and subscribe. My name is Luke, and I'll see you next time.